Hello everybody, Founder back again, bringing you yet another Unchained Fantasy tutorial. In this fourth video, we'll discuss one of my favorite parts of the game, Mutant Races. It's really the aspect of the game that most distinguishes it from traditional fantasy sports. It's entirely optional, but the benefits are pretty significant if you take the time to work with them. At its core, the races in Unchained Fantasy work on the rock, paper, scissors theory. Each race has a race it matches up well against, and each has one that it matches poorly against. The one exception is what we call the normal race, which is the default value for all players. It's your run-of-the-mill mutant not impacted by the changes rendered to the world after the war. Races apply not only to player characters, but they also apply to the monsters you face. When a race matches up well against another race, it will do 50% more damage and take 50% less in return. When it matches poorly against another race, it will take 50% more damage and do 50% less. You can see how that can make a dramatic difference. Besides the plain old normal race, there are 4 special races: Lava, Glacier, Scaled, and Slimy. You can see samples of the brutes or running backs for each race in the illustration here, along with how they match up against each other. At the top is the Lava race. Born out of the continuous eruptions of the Yellowstone caldera, the lava monster's very skin is made out of molten lava. That molten skin is especially devastating against our next race, Glacier. The rise in temperatures after the war forced Arctic creatures to produce their own cold, making their skins icy and rough. Their icy attacks make the skin of our next race especially brittle. The scaled mutants crawled out of bayous and everglades of the south, coated with sharp scales over their entire body. Those sharp scales cut easily through the viscous, jelly-like skin of slimy mutants. Straight from the sewers of cities across the country, their slime is a natural fire retardant that easily smothers a lava monster. And thus the circle is complete. Lava trumps Glacier, who trumps Scale, who trumps Slimy, who starts over again trumping Lava. I recommend printing out a copy of this illustration. Remember that green arrows are good and red are bad. So when you're up against the fire bat in Region 2, you know to have your slimy mutants ready to go and your glacial monsters on the bench. When you are ready to set the race of your player, you can find the Change Race option under the Players menu. Just click on the race next to the player and click Save Race. Choose carefully though, because once your player goes into battle as that race, you cannot change it again without spending dark matter to unlock your races. The only race you can change at any time is the normal race. You can always change a player from normal to a special race. There's a little more information about races on the forums, but that is the basics that you need to know to play the game. In the next video, we'll send our players out to battle on the map, and then I look forward to seeing you in the game.